As these idols of Durga and her children sink to the bottom of the Ganga, these hand-pulled rickshawalas realize that life will return to normal as Kolkata's festive season draws to a close. Stripped of the spirit of celebration, life for these rickshaw pullers falls short of the bare essentials. Leaving behind their families on the streets, they line up every morning waiting for customers. At the end of the hard day's work, they earn about 100 rupees. Most rickshaw pullers who migrate to Kolkata from Bihar take up the back-breaking jobs, hoping to save up and send something back home.
আমি যে রিস্কাওয়ালা দিন কি এমন যাবে বলি কি ও মাধবী তুমি কি আমার হবে আমি যে রিস্কাওয়ালা
Shri Bachchan left Khaira, a village in Bihar, about 40 years ago. Of the 150 rupees he earns every day, 20 rupees is paid as rent for his rickshaw. The remaining is used to support a family of 10 members in Khaira. Following the footsteps of his father, Shri Bachchan became a rickshawala, but insists that his son will not take up this profession.
I will go on as long as my health permits. It could be another 2 years, 3 or even 4 years. As long as I can, I know I have to go on. We need to survive, right? About 5 years ago, I met with an accident and had fractured my hand. I was bedridden for 2 years. But does that change anything? I still need to get back to this profession to feed my family. What else can we do?
It is a hard way to make a living, but the rickshawalas are willing to carry on with this profession as they believe that this is the only way to support their families. However, the government is challenging their resolve and is determined to impose a ban on these rickshaw pullers. Their last attempt to outlaw the hand-pulled rickshaw about 10 years ago was met with a huge outcry. But this time, the government is adamant about implementing this proposal, saying that this profession is barbaric and an abuse of human rights. But the government's ban will render 18,000 rickshaw pullers jobless. It has failed to announce any suitable compensation packages or alternative jobs. NGOs like Calcutta Samaritans are demanding that the government provide adequate compensation before they pull these rickshaws off the road.
Don't remove rickshaw in a single phase. Do it in several phases. Because large number of rickshaws 60. So give them some monetary compensation. Otherwise, they will not able to mainstream to the other activities. And second stream, you can mainstream them into the others job like small scale business, and those who are young can easily accommodate in the other small scale industries and new industries coming up. Yeah. This is I suggested that you do the removal plan in a 3-phase way.
Had the government banned rickshaws about 10 years ago with adequate compensation, 76-year-old Kurban wouldn't have to beg on the streets.
I was in this profession and used to pull rickshaws for some 20-30 years. Now what do? I have no option but to beg. Just like everyone else, these rickshaw pullers also have to feed their families. Now if they ban these rickshaws, where will these people go? If nothing else works out for them, then they might involve themselves in brawls and thefts. Does the government want that? The government has denied us justice.
डॉक्टर पास किया है ये रिक्शा चलेगा.
However, if the compensation is announced in phases, giving preference to the older rickshaw pullers, the younger unlicensed rickshaw pullers are bound to suffer. The government stopped issuing licenses to the hand-pulled rickshawalas in 1996. Moreover, the government will provide compensation and alternative jobs only to the licensed rickshaw pullers. It seems that the younger ones will have to fend for themselves.
सरकार को तो सोचना चाहिए, जो रिक्शा उठा देगा हम गरीब कहाँ जाएंगे, है ना. मेरा The government should think about us. We are poor people. If the ban is imposed, then where will we go? I have small children at home. This is my son. His name is Sheikh Shoaib and he is 8 years old. We have now enrolled him in a corporation school. If I lose my job, he won't be able to go to school anymore. I don't want him to lead a life like I did.
ठीक है ना, अब नौकरी चाकरी नहीं मिलेगा तो बाप के साथ तो रिक्शा चलाएगा, बेटा भी तो नहीं तो वो भी अपना गरीब पे है तो कहाँ से क्या खाएगा, उसका भी तो एक तो ये है खर्चा है, जितनी नहीं मिलेगा नौकरी चाकरी तो वो भी रिक्शा चलाएगा मेरा तरह। हम तो मांग रहे जो कुछ और बने, अच्छा बने, हमरा तरह रिक्शा वाला नहीं बने।
I will never want my son to be a rickshaw puller like me, because a rickshaw puller's life is a depressing one. There are days when the police catch us. We somehow try to avoid them, but now even the government is after our lives. How will the government benefit by torturing and pulling us off the roads? They did rather get hold of those people who are involved in illegal acts.
दो नंबर धंधा करता है जो लोग ये करता है, हम लोग तो गरीब है, हम लोग तो रिक्शा टान के हम लोग पैसा कमाते हैं, अपना बीवी बाल बच्चा का पेट भरते हैं। यही उठा देगा तो हम लोग क्या खाएंगे? सरकार को तो सोचना चाहिए।
I can't think Calcutta without rickshaws. So cheap and such small distances can be covered, and for people who cover up for like regular purposes, travel regular purposes, rickshaws are the most beneficial in Calcutta. I can't think of it, Calcutta without rickshaws.
It might be a crucial element of the city's culture, but if the ban is implemented, Kolkata will have to bid farewell to an image that has inspired so many writers and filmmakers. Unless the government acts on their behalf, the men who have become an inseparable part of Kolkata's landscape as day labor and sleep on the streets will be a forgotten legacy.